In this video we're going to take a look at the Bib Fortuna figure from Return of the Jedi. This is another figure that I never had as a child. One of my friends had it and I was sort of quite envious that he had it, but this was one I only got in my collection, well, quite early on when I started sort of recollecting in my adult life, and is one that I've had for now probably 10 to 15 years. And actually it's a figure I don't like. As a child I thought it was great. Now as an adult I just see so many things wrong with it that it's another figure that's not a great one in my collection. It's, you know, the likeness of Bib Fortuna is great. It's you know, it does actually look like the character from the film, but the fact he has all these sort of tubes and tentacles on his head means that you can't actually move his head at all. It's really sort of rigidly stuck in place. It also has, in my mind, a really awful cape. I don't actually see the point of the cape. It's really sort of oversized and bulky, and because it's sort of so bulky, it means that you can't actually see the rest of the figure. If you compare this figure to something like the Emperor, where he's just made out of moulded plastic, you know, if you put a cape on him, he'd be quite an unwieldy figure, and that's what's happened with this one. The cape just sort of gets in the way of everything, which is a real shame to me. I think the sculpt underneath is perfectly good and would have looked quite nice just on its own, but with the cape added, it doesn't do it for me. It also comes with a made-up weapon. You never see Bib Fortuna with any sort of weapon at all in the film. So Kenner have made this sort of, well, it's a little bit like a Dungeons and Dragons type staff, so a sort of curly stick with some detailing on the top. It sort of goes with the figure, I suppose, but as it's not really screen accurate, it doesn't really need to be there. In my mind, I would have just released the figure without any sort of these extra bits and bobs. Here you can see I have a carded version of Bib Fortuna. This is on a tri-logo card. You can pick up tri-logo cards fairly cheap. In fact, I actually got this one for £7, which is a bit of a bargain. I've never seen one that cheap since, but you can still find them. Again, standard sort of backing on it, shows you all the other figures that you could have got at the time. It's not a bad card actually. The image of Bib is pretty good in it. I do like the sort of nice bold colours, and he does have some particularly scary eyes, which they have managed to recreate on the toy. If you look here, you can see he's got a pretty ugly face. So that's you know, a bit scary for kids, but pretty nice. Overall, though, as I've said, this isn't a favourite of mine. Without the cape, I think he actually looks pretty nice, but with the cape on, doesn't really do it for me, which is a bit of a shame. But you know, as a collection, you've got to have every one of them, so it's one that you just have to have in your collection. Thanks for watching.